All right, welcome to the In Cayman podcast. Here with Daniel. What's up, buddy?
I'm good. How are you today, Badir?
Not bad. Not bad at all. Actually, let me just plug this in. I forgot about that. But we're still going there. There you go. We're not running on battery power.
Okay. Bet.
So, I didn't think we were going to talk about Bitcoin, but you just brought it up before we sat down.
Yeah.
So let's start there with that price prediction that you are foreseen for Bitcoin.
I feel like it could definitely drop to maybe about like 45K, even a bit lower. The reason why I say this is because like these bigger institutions nowadays, they're getting into it and they're cleverly fudding like everyone. You know what I mean? To keep dumping while they keep increasing their reserves, and they're gonna go hard with it.
Interesting. So you think that institutions are fudding, for those that don't know, means fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So they're spreading misinformation or fear, uncertainty, and doubt about it, so that people will sell their Bitcoin and they can buy more.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, JP Morgan, they have their hands in Bitcoin ETFs, right?
Right.
And yet they're on the news saying like, Bitcoin's unpredictable, unreliable, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi. And they're selling this exact thing. You know what I mean?
It's pretty funny, huh?
They're very clever with this. You know what I mean? They're just doing all this stuff. Not a lot of people pay attention to the crypto scenes if you think about it. Like if you're in crypto and you're in the space, that's a very small percentage of the world still. Like a lot of people just don't pay attention to it, and they're all doing this behind the scenes. And they're gonna manipulate price and
scoop up the Bitcoin.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't believe that Jamie Dimon means what he says? Is that what you're saying?
Jamie Dimon,
the CEO of JP Morgan, because he's pretty much always on there.
Oh yeah. He just makes things up. He needs to say that out loud publicly. But in the background, he's just still approving all this other stuff. He's a puppet. You know what I mean? Most of these like organizations are like that. But hear me out though. They're not gonna be the only people that benefit from it, because some people are just diamond hands with Bitcoin. You got the Michael Saylors. Right. You know what I mean? Like he's praying for a dip right now, to just drop another $2 billion.
Right.
And it's like he's just up again.
So you think that the price is going to fall because people are going to fall for the FUD and start selling their Bitcoin? Is that what you're saying?
Over time, yeah. And just like progressively, with all the things going on in the world too, that's just a part of it. Like the war, you know what I mean, going on in the Middle East, that's affecting everything. You know what I mean? And if you're affecting stocks, you're affecting crypto. You know what I mean? So it's like right now we're in this weird space, and we have to see how that conflict is resolved. This conflict could potentially send us into another bear market again. And so it's really tricky. You have to.
So you think an escalation in the conflict would have a detrimental effect on Bitcoin and the crypto space? Because there's some people out there who would say the opposite, right? That people are going to want to throw their money into crypto. Or are those the diamond hands?
It's more so the diamond hands than anything. You know what I mean? When you're caught up in wars and stuff like that, and it escalates to like, imagine if it gets nuclear. Like a lot of people aren't going to be thinking about really and truly getting their money into crypto. There'll be a good amount of people that do, sure, but not really that much to make a difference, in my opinion. Yeah.
I mean, I actually probably do agree with that, because I think only a small percentage of the world get Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And the vast majority are going to be like, no. Even if they have Bitcoin, they're going to be like, well, I need to sell this for cash. In the middle of an escalation of conflict, right? Because I can't spend Bitcoin, right?
Oh yeah, right. It's crazy how you can spend like cryptocurrency these days. Not gonna lie.
You mean in a positive way? You can actually buy things with crypto. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. It's super possible. So far, I've bought like just mostly like gift cards and yeah, that's really all I've really bought with that at the moment. But I do have an actual card that I can load up with crypto and use like as a virtual card, and like I could purchase anything online type of thing. So I haven't really used that yet because I'm saving my crypto bags. I'm trying to not spend irresponsibly. But when I do get to that right point, for example, I could just use that card, buy whatever I want. It's getting easier now to, spend your crypto. You don't always have to withdraw, send it over to your bank here, and then they're like, oh, why are you sending this amount of money to yourself? Where did you get it from? All that stuff is, it's just like, why bother with that? You know what I mean? Like, there's ways.
Yeah, there are ways. I mean, I think that's part of the problem, right? Is people have with just the banking system in general. There's just too many questions. Just,
I literally had to complete a KYC for my bank the other day, and it was just it was just ridiculous,
right?
Like what they were asking me for, and all of that, and it was just like, I get that it's a part of their regulations,
right?
But it's how they interpret those regulations.
Okay,
you know what I mean? That's how KYC works. It's an interpretation of that law, and you use it in your discretion.
Interesting.
And they they just like abuse it, I think. There's a lot of loopholes, weird stuff that goes on in banks. For example, if you were married and you wanted to open up an account with your wife, and both of you guys been banking with the same bank for like 15, 20 years, whatever, they're going to be like, well, we need to KYC you both.
All right.
But then if you just add your wife to your account, they don't KYC you. So it's like, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make any sense what they're doing out there. Banking system's going to fail soon. Everybody knows it.
You think it's gonna happen soon?
Not soon,
right?
Like, not this year.
But the writing's on the wall.
Oh yeah, most definitely, for sure. As crypto gets bigger, these banks are gonna start closing. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to handle all this crypto stuff.
Yeah,
it's still very early for them. Yes, they're hiring people to get to the bottom of things, but they're still very far behind.
Right. And I feel like they just move so slow. That like trying to catch up with crypto, it's like you got to be on the edge, but they're just so slow with all the bureaucracy that even if they have like their sort of crypto departments, I feel like they just trail behind.
Yeah,
they play catch up.
Yeah, they're not like ahead of any trends, in my opinion.
Man, they're like dinosaurs, man.
Yeah,
these banks.
So they're just scared. That's why they blocked it. That's why most banks, for example, here, they won't let you like buy on Binance. You know what I mean? Because Binance had some weird going on here.
What do you mean they have something weird going on here?
So they weren't they weren't like properly registered to run their exchange here in Cayman.
Is that right?
Yes. And Seaman was like, yo, on an ego, I don't know if they fixed that or they, amended that. I don't know. But it put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and that caused, some bigger banks here to not really allow you to purchase from there. And other exchanges too.
Right.
To be fair.
Are there any exchanges that we can work with as Caymanians?
Yes, the only registered crypto exchange in Cayman right now, I believe, is crypto.com.
And we as Caymanians can
absolutely, yes,
purchase crypto on that website?
Absolutely, yes.
You can, I didn't know that.
Yes, most definitely.
I mean, I've basically given up on exchanges.
Yeah, nah, they're workarounds. I still buy my like crypto on main exchanges. I just have my workarounds and how to do so.
Right. It's always a workaround.
It is a workaround, but it's an easy workaround for me because
I mean, once you figure it out, right? I guess finally figure it out. All right, I can just do it this way.
It's so simple. People could all do it. I should make a video about it.
You should.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know if I should talk about it because I feel like, I don't want everybody to know what's up, Not that it's necessarily wrong to do or whatever, but
right.
I feel like banks just want to be up in people's business for no reason. So they're gonna do that. But I'll definitely like go more into it probably another time.
Right.
But it's getting easier. If you want to do the crypto.com route, that could work for you. The only thing is that they'll pretty much they will KYC you, and they're gonna share that that information is gonna be known by SEMA.
Tell people what SEMA is.
Oh, SEMA is the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. They oversee everything money in the Cayman Islands.
Right.
And they're regulation kings. You know what I mean? They don't play.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us more about that Binance story, because I don't know much about it. So they weren't fully registered with SEMA?
Yeah, there was something along those lines. They weren't really registered to operate as an exchange in the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
They made their company something else, not an exchange. But they were just running their exchange through here, type of thing. So when I guess SEMA found that out, they were just like, all right, yeah, you have to cease operations here. This, that. I think they got fined. They paid the fine. I don't know if Binance decided to leave after that. I haven't really kept up with how far it went.
That story is gone, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of things change. Like, for example, the CEO stepping down a couple months ago.
I love that.
Yeah, no, he's a trooper for that, yo. He just took one for the team. He's like, yo, this exchange not going down over my dead body. And he is like, yeah, I'm gonna resign. I want my company to flourish, and I want it to be the biggest exchange in the world, and they're gonna continue to be doing that.
And he's facing jail time, right? CZ?
Apparently, I don't think he will get it. I think, people with money,
Yeah, I mean, I think he was just willing
You'll
to
get
suck
a workaround. Yeah,
with the amount of money that he made.
Hey, listen,
he's just like, yeah, I'll take 9 months in jail.
You think about how, Binance makes billions a day.
It's pretty crazy, actually, when I think about how much those exchanges make.
Yeah,
because it makes you realize how big the crypto scene is.
It is.
Yeah.
What is it right now? 2 point something trillion global market cap
in all of crypto.
Yeah, or it dropped a bit, I believe.
Sounds about right, because I know Bitcoin's about 1.5, and that's usually about 50% of it.
Boom. So we're all hoping for a $3 trillion, $4 trillion market cap.
Sure.
Global, because at that point everything's gonna be popping.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. Trust me. And this bull cycle that we had from February till last month. I mean, it's still continuing, but right now it's kind of falling off. I need that again. I need some more of that.
So let me ask you, your price prediction with Bitcoin dropping to 45.
Oh,
does the halving not have anything to say about that?
I don't think so. Historically speaking, after halvings, usually Bitcoin performs super well. So when I'm saying yes, I see Bitcoin falling to 45,000 or below, I don't think that's going to be immediately. But that's going to be it's going to be a low for a certain point to shoot up again.
So a year or a year and a half from now is what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe.
So that's going to be the new. That's going to be the new bottom for Bitcoin.
That could be that.
Right.
But the thing is it's such a hugely volatile asset, and that's scary for people to have a $63,000 Bitcoin and it drops down to 45.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's moved in those patterns quite a lot. And I think, yes, Bitcoin can reach 100,000 maybe by the end of this year or next year, but it's going to have to do it in a very volatile way.
Yeah.
It just always does that. There's so much people who manipulate Bitcoin. So much people, institutions, big money man, like everything. Like they manipulate the price all the time and they will do anything. So for me to see like this perfect upwards trajectory up to 100K is not real. We're going to have to go through some waves. But I love the fact that BTC broke all-time high in this run. That really got me excited for what's to come. It showed that it can happen and people really want it to be a thing.
Yeah.
I think it could shoot up higher even pretty much soon. I think it could just break another all-time high real quick and then just dump again,
right,
and then shoot back up again,
right,
and it might cross 100K.
Yeah, I mean that's the trend with Bitcoin. You know, it goes up and then it comes back down, and it goes back up, breaks an all-time high, comes back down, and
the people in Bitcoin, they just tease you. Like these are whales, and nobody likes whales until you're a whale. It's the truth.
Yeah.
No one likes whales.
People like Michael Saylor.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Like he'll just come out and just eat everything that you sold. And like too bad, too sad.
Too bad, too sad. He don't care.
Because he really just has so much money. Like he's just inviting more people to invest in his business and his company. He's just converting it into Bitcoin.
So what do you think is the future for a company like that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because it's essentially a Bitcoin holding company.
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean, right? Like, I wonder how he envisions it. Like, yeah, I know they have their whole software side of things that they were doing before they became a Bitcoin holding company. But everyone, and I feel they have to feel like, who cares about that side of it so much anymore? You know, unless he incorporates that into the Bitcoin network somehow.
I'm not too sure how he would do that.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I've not really looked into the future of what he plans to do with that. I think that it'll probably evolve into something else again, like a different type of company again. Because who knows how the world is going to shift, and Michael Saylor will move with supply and demand.
What do you mean?
Like, if he can capitalize on certain market trends or any part of like economics where he can make a lot of money on it, like a deal or something like that, he's going to hop on it and he's going to have enough money to fund that. You know what I mean? With the Bitcoin, in order for him to make more Bitcoin later down the line, because he's going to then take profits from that venture and put it right back in. Like he's a businessman. That's not the only thing that he's doing. So you got to think about all these side ventures. He's just gonna keep recycling it over and over again.
Oh, what a guy! The conviction.
Oh yeah, I think everyone loves Saylor. He's exposed a lot for Bitcoin to the world.
Yeah, and he only got in 2020. That's the weird bit. You know, he's relatively new. It makes me wonder who else hasn't come into the Bitcoin sphere, but who's gonna pop in and become a whale like Saylor, right? Because we're waiting for Apple to do it. We're waiting for Facebook to do it. We're waiting for Amazon to do it. Elon's kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, it's like, do you think these, like the Big Five or the Fantastic Five or whatever you call them, do you expect them to make a similar move as MicroStrategy?
I think they all have their own bags for sure of Bitcoin, but I don't think that they're gonna really like ape in as hard as MicroStrategy.
Ape in, I like that.
Yeah, for sure. Like they're not They can keep up with that guy, but I don't think that they want to make that their main mission. I think those big five have their formula, and they're gonna keep developing on it. Plus, they got a little Bitcoin, so they chilling. You know, I don't think they're gonna be like greedy about it, but who knows?
Yeah,
they're crazy.
I think MicroStrategy was just a little more nimble than them, so they were able to make this sort of risky, big move. Whereas I think with Google, I mean, I think you got to convince so many people, so many shareholders, so many board members to make a move like that. Like, I just don't even see that happening.
No.
They actually kind of remind me and Meta too of dinosaurs. You know, they're a little big and clumsy and just, you know, I don't see that they can make a move like that. You know, the whole Google AI debacle.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Gemini.
a perfect example of, you know, they just weren't hip to what they needed to do. Huh.
AI is gonna get out of control for sure, most definitely. That's another thing.
That is another thing.
Yeah. Because you see, they programmed Gemini to do that.
Right.
And like, yo, you tell a machine how to just do one thing and limit it or not limit it to certain things. It will do what it takes, whatever the cost. They don't think, they just do. And yeah, I will enjoy AI while it's fun.
Right. Interesting.
But then, you know,
at some point,
just think about it. You just gotta have one villain who just trying to prove something to the world for whatever reason, and he's a master coder or whatever. Make some crazy AI that can shut down grids, and there's probably already. You know what I mean? Like, that could like collapse cities and stuff like that. It could plan things. Imagine that AI can make phone calls on someone's behalf, replicate their voice, authorize things.
You seen any of those deep fake Michael Saylor videos?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the first one got me. Until I heard he's giving away Bitcoin, and then I was like, okay, that's definitely not Saylor.
Yo, no.
He'll encourage you to buy it, but he ain't gonna give you his.
No free
But
stuff.
I mean, that was legit.
Yeah. No, it's gotten better. I mean, have you seen Sora?
No.
Open AI.
Oh,
Sora?
yeah. I feel I haven't heard about that since it launched, though.
Yeah. Well, because the thing is that they just like, they're still working on it.
The video one, right?
Yeah. They're still working on it. So they're not really pushing it out like actively to keep your eyes on it. They pushed it out in a moment to be like, hey, guess what? This is what we're working on. Like, we hope to share this with you soon.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, so now we're just waiting. It's cool that we kind of forgot about it because like when it does launch, everybody will be on it.
So let me ask you now. So you've worked in the film industry. Is Sora, is it Sora? Sora. Is Sora a legitimate threat to the industry?
I don't think a threat. I think it's going to just be a tool. You know, it probably save like a lot of money for production. Well, it gonna hurt some people's jobs.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Just
Like
a
who?
little bit. Maybe some CGI people. You know? Like,
Right.
you still need CGI people for like crazy complex scenes or whatever. Actually, no. I wouldn't say CGI people actually, because I don't think it could do elaborate stuff for certain productions. I don't like, I felt like it would have impacted some people on the lower level, but I'm not sure how it would.
Yeah.
It would be just an asset in the editing department. Like, if you needed like a shot of like a blue sky with like 3 birds, you know, passing through the frame, it can make it for you. Or if you needed a drone shot of London, like, stock footage market might get busted.
True, that's a good point. I remember thinking about that when I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Like,
you could definitely create some stock with that.
and maybe people can integrate that tool into like a storyboarding type of software.
The pre-production side of things, definitely. I can see that. Yeah.
So that could help. I think it might help the industry more than hurt it, actually. So I take what I said back earlier. For sure. I think that it'll just add to like the fun tools we have to make cool, positive stuff.
I think there'll be collateral damage, though. I think it's a net positive in the end. But I think, just like say the internet killed Blockbuster, AI is going to kill somebody. We just don't know who or what or how yet, or at least I haven't figured it out.
Well, I guess everyone could argue like writers. Like you can get AI to write complex movies for us. Why do we need to hire like writers? Sure. But I still think everyone appreciates that human touch. I think most people do. So until that changes, I think we'll be okay.
You use AI to write for you? Or?
A lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes, for sure. Like especially if it's like a task that is very simple, but you just don't have time to do it. Like just tell the thing to do it.
Tell the thing to do it.
And like the thing is, your GPT learns you. So like after you like have done certain things with a pattern, like it could fill in things for you on its own, and it's like
it remembers.
Yeah, like any sort of like like even for like some of my productions, not gonna lie, say like I get this, well, I've done it before.
What?
I have gone on ChatGPT and I've asked it to make a shot list for me.
Right.
And then based off that shot list, that helped me give me an idea how to approach a shoot. I think that was for like a clinic shoot that I was working on. And same time as well, I asked it to generate a voiceover for me, approximately 45 seconds long. And then like, it just, it
just knows how to do it.
Yeah, it just does it. It's like, yeah, you need to actually prompt it well though. Like you need to give it enough information for it to understand how it can really sell your product. So it's important how you prompt these things.
It's all about the prompt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's saving time. Like if you're not using AI to save time, then what are you doing?
Some people still aren't using it.
Yeah, because they just feel weird about it, like imagine some people, they're scared.
Yeah, people are scared. Even Elon's scared, and most people. Well, I think the majority of people are scared of it.
I don't think you should be scared of it yet. I think you should have.
We're in the fun phase.
We should have fun. Like, what are you gonna do about it? How are we gonna stop it?
Yeah.
No. So have fun with AI. Use it to your advantage. It helps with your life. It helps with your job. Everything.
Personal life too.
It doesn't matter. Like,
I had a shopping plan. When I went to Miami go shopping, AI. I threw in 2 photos, the line of Afghanistan and Bob Marley. I was like, I like these guys' style. Create a little plan. I gave it some more prompts and all that. I had this whole plan. Took Miami with me.
Wow.
Anything.
Nah, I haven't done anything that complex with it yet, but that's dope. You have GPT-4?
Yeah, I actually pay for the thing.
There
now.
We go. Yeah. So I guess for everybody out there, you probably would go on there and sign up, and you would have 3.5 for free. It's not real time like
still worth it
GPT-4, but it
still
can help
worth it
with lots of tasks. Like, what I mean, if you need to write a letter to someone or any type of like
I told the
document.
I go in Dolphin Mall, which stores I should link up to execute this plan. Give me the stores, you boy.
And you could just be like, give me the best prices from those stores for this like specific shoe model, and then there you go. It'd probably give you,
it knows
the right results. And this is spreading like wildfire. I think everyone should use it to their advantage. And when it starts pouring down on us, then we worry about it.
Yeah. I guess the same thing with the internet, right? Like when the internet first started, there was a fun phase. Like the internet was a fun place. Because like now,
it's toxic.
It's toxic. We're in the toxic phase now. What do you think is the cause of that toxicity?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think it's in our nature.
Yeah.
I think
So why wasn't it there in the fun phase then?
Because people got bored. You know, it's kind of like when you go to school. Like when you first join a school, all the kids are like super friendly, all like, you know, cool with each other for like maybe a month or so, and then all of a sudden random beefs just start spawning because, you know, like people just don't like each other. Like they just want to cause issue, drama.
Interesting. People got bored.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I heard Jordan Peterson say that Dostoevsky said.
Interesting.
That even if there was a perfect world, eventually we just get bored and like throw a wrench through the window.
Yeah, we can be controlled. We're very animalistic still, and yeah, we can't really get rid of certain things. We just we're all competitive.
That's true.
You know, especially on a small island like Cayman. Let's
talk about that.
Cayman is competitive. Most definitely, it is sink or swim here.
What disciplines are we talking about here?
I would argue for everything. I think everything. Well,
creative industry
for sure. Finance, like the bigger industries, they're very competitive here. Yeah, the creative industry. Yeah, it's
because I feel that there was more beef years ago in the creative industry. Not as much anymore, or am I out of the loop?
I don't think there's any. Pardon me. I don't think there's any beef in the industry. I think what happens is that, look, both me and you do film. So do like 60 other people or something like that.
Right.
On an island of population of 70,000 people. And we're all trying to sell the exact same thing. Most of us there are tears to it for sure. And I think that creatives have a hard time working with creatives, especially when you're all trying to eat. You know what I mean? Like if I'm trying to get my salary paid or whatever, I'm not trying to do a shoot with you. You know what I mean?
Well, I lose some money.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And everyone respects that. I think everyone knows that. Everyone is not stupid. So when you go to someone, you go to them correct, or you see, you know, what budget you can work with or whatever. But creatives also just have a hard time just working with other creatives because of how we think as well. You know,
like in what way?
Like ideas, like, you know, I want to shoot it this way and somebody else doesn't like how you want to shoot it, and you're like, nah. And then it sounds kind of like ignorant, but like, nah, that's just how creative people are. We're very certain about what we like, and yes, you can take, you know, input and criticism. It has to make sense though, and I think the person who wants to change it needs to explain it properly. But sometimes I guess that gets in the way. Everyone wants to be the head honcho, you know, like the director. Personally, I don't care about being a director. I'm not good at that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just love operating the camera.
Yeah, I don't think everyone wants to be the director at the end of the day, but I mean, a lot do.
Yeah, because it's the title thing. When I was first getting into film, I was obsessed. I used to call myself a director.
Interesting.
Wow. Sad. For real. Like,
and for you then, you think it was just about the title more than what you were...
Yeah, I didn't really understand what the role of a director was. You know, until like, you know, I'm coming up in the industry and I'm working on these films and stuff like that, and I see what these guys have to do, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is not what I want. Like,
right.
The thing about me is that I am better at executing visions than creating them.
I like that. I think that's a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, some people, they just have this eye to see how something is done and composed. I don't have that eye, but I could compose it for you.
And I think, you know, on the other hand of thing, I think on the other side of things is that there's directors who can see the vision but can't execute it.
There you go. And that's why it needs to work hand in hand. You know,
Right.
the director's DP, you know, they're best friends. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time, the best films are ones that they're like tight. You know what I mean? They trust each other to a different level to execute films. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Cayman situation, the small island situation. So let me ask you this. Take New York City, big town, millions of people, still uber competitive, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
So how is that different than a small island where it's super competitive, right? Because it's competitive in both places, but how does the dynamics change in a small island?
Supply and demand. There's too much supply for the demand. That's how it's different.
Right.
In New York, you know, you got people for days.
Right.
I can reach somebody. I can eat.
Right.
But you know, there's only a certain amount of people in the creative space, especially if we're talking about film, who are interested in paying for a video and also paying for a video past an X amount as well, because everybody thinks that video production is cheap, and it isn't. And the people who value it, God bless you all, we all know who you are. They have the absolute best work out there,
right,
and you know, they're top in marketing, and respect to those people, and not to look down on the people who
don't get it,
you know, don't get it, or who don't have the budget to do certain things. But there's proper ways to go about it. I think it's the way how they go about it versus
how
like the price point. For example, like the biggest joke, I mean, it's like one of the biggest memes out there, right?
Wow.
Is the $200 client. Right? Right? The $200 client has like 15 revisions. You know what I mean? Taking long.
Funny how that is.
Taking long with paying a deposit, But then the $15,000 client, you know, has one revision, money paid the next day. You know, and it's I like supporting small businesses. I do a lot of video production for small businesses, and I have rates efficient for small businesses. I like working with them to get them to a certain image and level, in order for me to help show the importance of how videos can really sell.
So you kind of teach them along the way?
Yeah, most definitely. Like anyone who I'm doing these like small commercials for, I'm educating them how to get better, you know, how they can level it up. I'm not, the thing is, like, it's my work, and the way how they share it matters. You know, I've had people, like I made the mistake of sending drafts over to a client on WhatsApp, and they decided to post the WhatsApp version. You understand? I never did that again. Right? And that impacts me. You must have
been horrified.
That impacts me, you know.
Oh my goodness.
I care about how my work is displayed. And yes, you're paying money to me quite a bit in order to create a video for you. I need to know you have your Instagram or your Facebook set up. I need to know that you're gonna put money behind boosting it. I don't want you to just post a nice high quality video on your page that has 4 followers and then complain that, oh, you're not getting a lot of engagement.
It must have been the quality of your video.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, nah, that's crazy. But people don't want to do all the background work. They think they'll just get the video and the video will sell itself. No, you have to do so much.
Right.
So that's why I educate people, and more time I end up working with those people to some extent to aid their social media. And I've done that a couple of times, where I've aided people almost like a starter kit. Like we'll make some content, we'll roll it out, we'll set up channels for you, and eventually they could get it or move on to someone else who can probably operate with them a lot more, a better time, budget, all of that stuff.
I think all cinematographers on Island have faced that issue where they have a client who they've done a video for, who then don't know what to do with the video. And then the cinematographer, the producer, or the film people, that they've had to ask themselves, should I just get into the marketing space or not? Right? Because obviously people need help marketing. I just did a video for you and you don't even know what to do with the video, right? So I feel like we've all, and some videographers have moved like very, what's the word? Like they have deliberately decided, you know what, no, I'm going to enter the marketing space, right? Because that's where people actually need help more than the videos, and I feel like that kind of sucks a little bit.
I feel I had to do it myself.
Right.
Yeah, I have a marketing agency now. I don't have a video production company anymore.
Right.
Because it's different. Like the people need the whole package. They don't need
the video, and the video is like the last thing.
Yeah, literally. Right? Yeah.
So it's like, why are we working just on the video? Like, because ultimately it comes through the marketing team or the marketing company. So why not just start at the marketing company?
There's just also so much marketing companies here, right? And like, you got to think about what your end goal is in your marketing company. What kind of marketing company you want to be. You have to have the right staff, the right capital to really push that off. And you got to decide where your price point's going to be, because once again, people don't put a lot of money into marketing. Only certain companies do. So you're going to be kind of out there semi-struggling unless you've really held down some people on some retainers and stuff like that. There's too much marketing companies here, by the way, as well. Just as much. Video production companies are out of this world. There's like thousands at this point. I'm just joking, but it feels like that. But that's a good sign for me too, though, because I remember when I was coming up in film and I was doing my thing, like I was one of not many people who were, doing stuff with cameras. They didn't support us. They didn't know what we were doing. Telling me to get a real job. A real job. That's crazy, right?
I love that phrase, right?
It's so weird. And then now,
there's more understanding for it.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that everyone who's interested in video is putting themselves out there. I've met a lot of cool people recently that are on the come up that are doing very good work. And I see a lot of potential for them. I think that they need to take their talents worldwide, or out of this island, in my opinion. If you really care about video production on the next level, you can have a little run here, run your little business, couple of years, nice, but after a certain point, it's not going to be as like fulfilling.
So let's talk about that, because I was actually going to ask you that in the sense that, a lot of creatives leave Cayman, a lot of filmmakers leave Cayman. There's the idea that Cayman don't got it. Why we try and do this here? Let's go New York. Let's go London. Let's go LA. Why haven't you left?
Boy, because I realize Cayman's the best place in the world to make money.
Okay.
And I love filmmaking and I love being in that industry. However, I'm a money man. You know what I mean? So I want to put myself in situations here, different business ventures, in order to establish enough money for then me to really enjoy the film industry abroad. And it's also about the links that you have abroad to get you in the industry, because like I've talked to these guys, you know, on set, and I'm like, it doesn't matter what school you went to or whatever.
If you even went to school.
Yeah, it's the people you know. And these people have to vouch for you to get on productions. It's like a club. You know what I mean? So my chances of really working on like proper sets of like commercials and films are pretty hard in general. I would love to achieve that one day, but I feel like I might achieve it when I have a little bit more bread. You know what I mean?
So eventually you want to leave?
Yeah, most definitely. I would want to travel a lot more. But right now I'm just trying to stack my bread. I'm just trying to make start up different companies. You know, I've had my hand in different things, you know. And like I really enjoy like starting different businesses and seeing how they go, especially like if it's something cool or could be innovative to the space.
So you have a drink, right?
I don't have a drink. I am still a part of 345 Organics. It's a CMOS company. Yes. So 345 Organics specializes in CMOS gels. What sets us apart is that we offer fruit infused variations
Of CMOS?
Of CMOS. So there's like a mango, coconut, soursop.
Soursop sounds good.
Yeah, the soursop's one of the best sellers. Absolutely.
And so wait, what is it? It's gels?
Yeah,
What does that
so
mean?
all right. So CMOS is an organic matter, and when you in its form,
The seaweed that be floating out there on the water?
nah, it's not that. This is like bottom of the ocean type of like algae that you harvest, and they dry it out, and then they like, you know, we ship it in.
Who's they?
Well, we have distribution links from Jamaica and St. Lucia. As you know, they have good quality sea moss over there.
Okay.
And we make sure our sea moss is wild crafted. You know, the best sustainable type of farming of this sea moss as possible. Yeah,
and so you get it in, and then what do you do? I'm still trying to figure out what this is. What are the gels? Like
So-
something is like a tablet?
No, it's like it's almost like a pudding of some sort, but it's like a gel-like consistency.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So it's still something you'll consume.
Yes, yeah, you can
Tastes
consume
good.
it. You could even put it on your skin. It's good for your skin. Collagen and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and acne, all that good. It's
A wide variety of
trooper.
uses. It's like Vicks.
Yeah, something like that. In the S tier of like products that fix everything.
Right.
Sea moss is a superfood. It has changed a lot of people's lives. This gel, you know, it becomes a gel after you soak the dried sea moss in spring water, and
Okay.
over a 12-hour period, that dried sea moss will expand, and it will have a gelatinous texture, and then it's ready for use. And then you know, we would infuse those bits of sea moss with real fruit, and we sweetened it with agave.
Okay. Not sugar.
Not sugar. We chose to use agave to sweeten our products. It's just a little bit lighter, and we're very conscious of like the people who want to take our products and not really fill them up with a bunch of sugar. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's not what we're trying to do. But if you don't want any of the variations as well, you can get the classic, which is just straight up
Sea moss?
sea moss gel. And that is actually the most versatile flavor we have, because that's the one you can put on your hair, skin, nails, any part of your body. You can also consume it as well. You can put it into soups, into
anything.
smoothies, anything, because it can operate as a thickener. And it's just a great source of like vitamins and minerals. So just like whatever, like you could eat it straight up.
So how did you find out about sea moss?
Well, I found out about sea moss actually from my business partner. She was the one who established the company actually. I came on board as someone who is helping out with marketing, and then my role kind of like expanded, and I started getting deeper into the business side of things, especially when we decided to team up to become partners in the business, because at first it was just a marketing outside,
Right.
But then I became her business partner, and I started focusing more on the operations, and I became a geek for sea moss. Like I had to learn it all. I had to make it, sometimes, and I had to learn how to balance flavors with my business partner. We had to figure out how to do all that stuff. The logistics of it, the deliveries, the supermarkets. It's a lot.
Yeah, running a business,
yeah,
man. So
it's
all
just
those
like
different elements. So 345 Organics, does it just do sea moss, or you do other products?
Currently at this moment we just are focusing on sea moss.
And where can people buy this stuff? Like what's the market like here on island in terms of people purchasing this?
A lot of people love and adore sea moss here in Cayman, for sure. They know what's up. Everyone who takes sea moss, they understand the benefits and they are religious with it. And everyone knows that 345 Organics has the best sea moss. Anyways,
so there's some other competitors out there.
Yeah, and they're doing their thing. That's blessed.
So you can buy this in the supermarket.
You can buy our sea moss at Foster's Camana Bay, Hurley's, Foster's Airport. Yeah, and we're just trying to expand to some other places. Won't say anything yet, but we're trying to really stretch out our market and places where we can actually sell the sea moss and sea moss products to people. Just awareness. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't know what it is, and I like. Our next approach is focusing on the education, of
sea moss.
Yeah,
because I feel like I don't know much about it. I learned about it through you, and I don't remember sea moss growing up.
Well, it's always been around, but I think it's just a lot more accessible in today's day and age because it's become more popularized. Like it was something that Dr. Sebi was talking about like years ago.
Who's that?
He's this like Honduran. I wouldn't call him like a doctor. He's a doctor of sorts. Like he's very like herbalistic, like all natural type of doctor. I don't remember if he's a real doctor or not.
Right.
But he was always preaching the benefits of sea moss and how it is used to clean all of the mucus out of your body, and mucus is one of the main things that causes your body to get cancerous. And this was a popularized thing. Many people started like using sea moss and seeing the benefits, but people were obviously skeptical of it. And also the thing is too, people want to see results in sea moss like a week after. You know what I mean?
Where it's not like that, then you need to be very consistent and long term with it.
You have to be consistent and long term with it. Absolutely. It is a very densely mineral based substance. And you have to be consistent with it to really see like the maximum amount of changes possible for yourself, including like most people, their improved gut health over time, which is important because if you take care of your gut, that does a lot. That could do wonders for, you know, if you had some excess weight and you're trying to shed off any weight and your gut's performing a lot better, boom. You know what I mean? Even bad gut health causes bad breath. Maybe all of a sudden you realize you don't have bad breath anymore. Bam. That's the sea moss. You understand? Now, these things really just do take time. It's a supplement. Like how you take your daily vitamins, it's adding a little bit more to that for sure. You can take them, together. The thing is that I should make aware for anyone who's thinking about buying sea moss is that it's still something, and we do clearly label it.
What?
That you should consult a doctor before you take our product.
That's smart.
Yeah, because it's a supplement like any other at the end of the day, and you can't just be taking anything.
There's so many things out there.
Exactly. And for example, like sea moss is it has a lot of iodine. Not a lot, but it has a good amount of iodine in it, because of the nutrients it receives from the bottom of the ocean.
Okay.
Now, for someone who has hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, that's not the best thing for them to ingest every day.
Okay.
Because the thing is, that iodine affects their thyroid and will send their hormones out of whack. And a hyperthyroidism patient already has an overactive thyroid. So you don't want to aggravate that even more. That will affect a lot of problems for that person.
Interesting.
But if you're, you have a regular or even understimulated thyroid, then it would be something beneficial for you to help your hormones regulate better in your body and, for your overall health. And still need to get on the case of whether or not people with shellfish allergies can come into contact with it. Most people who have asked us about it, we have told them
better not.
Yeah, like rather safe, safe than sorry. Until we have more evidence to really feel confident about that, because you just never know. I mean, we do several batches of washing of the sea moss, but I just don't, something about that, I still don't trust it in order for me to be like, You
don't trust what? The washing part of it?
No, like the washing part's cool, but I feel like somehow there can still be contamination, especially when the sea moss expands, for example, too, right? Because you're already rinsing it in its like dried manner, like over and over again, like washing, and then you put it to soak. And then sometimes when it soaks, right, that all of that is expanding, and you don't know if some sort of like particle or some sort of little piece of contamination is on that. And somebody might consume it and then it gives them
some sort of
reaction. Like, I don't know how allergies work or if that could be a thing. So I just rather like be safe and most
have
people
them consult their doctor.
But there might be people who have had shellfish allergies that have been eating our sea moss and
it's fine.
Right.
It's just, it's the risk and understanding that there's a risk, and you as a company being able to manage that risk, asking people to consult their doctors beforehand. I mean, that's smart, right?
Yeah, for sure. You have to You have to be safe about things. We care about our customers, and we just want to create a very good product that changes people's lives. Wellness. That's important to the brand. Absolutely.
So what other companies you got?
So I also have a marketing agency called the West Indian
Nice.
marketing agency. That is something that I'm actually more focusing on now. I'm actually not as involved with the CMOS company at the moment as I was. I'm more focusing on the marketing agency side of things to get that growing. Because honestly speaking, at the time 345 Organics needed the attention in order to grow to a certain level, and now I have to switch over to start building up the agency as well to another level.
And I guess AI is very helpful in marketing.
Absolutely. Like we were talking about before, you can use it to help write storyboards, scripts, voiceovers.
You can analyze all that data too, right?
Yeah, and it just makes your job super simple.
Yeah.
And you're able to go out there, kill your shoot, come back, and make some money.
But your marketing isn't just video shoots, right?
For the most part, it is video shoots and like social media management, right? We're going to expand into other fields, whether or not I teach myself certain things or we hire some people. But right now, at the moment, it's not like at that level where we're trying to hire people in order to grow this agency. It'll take some time. Yeah, I feel like the social media management part of it is how we keep it a little bit different for now, because we will make a video for you and then we will help push the video out for you and give you an aesthetic, help you build on that. This is what I was talking to you about earlier about me helping out smaller businesses and bigger businesses too. We don't just only go for smaller businesses, but for the most part, I like to help people out if we could work out something, and I'm also invested in the company that you have, I feel like I have that luxury to choose the projects that I want to work on. I think for a long time as a videographer here, by the way,
you take what you can get.
You take what you can get for years until one day you're like, wait, I can pick and choose. And I think that I don't take advantage of that. I think it's better for people to do that. That way you can really focus on things that you're really good at. And it's not bad to challenge yourself, but if you just don't want to put yourself in that position or you're not confident in it, then it doesn't make sense to pursue it, unless it's like, something dire, like you need that, like I need this shoot to survive. I don't know, different people are in different situations, and it is a struggle for most creatives out here. From time to time, we all know the fluctuations, we all know the good months, we all know the bad months. Like I always tell this story all the time. When I was doing Friends and Frames with Tremaine, in the very beginning, to get ourselves kicked off, it was hard. You know what I mean? And we didn't have no backing or investments, or well, to some degree we did. Like we actually did have an investment where our close friend put in money for the cameras.
Is that right?
Yes. Okay. And that really blessed us up.
Because this is a video production company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, I also at that time ended up leaving an organization, or they kicked me out, whatever the case is. What it is, they made my position redundant.
Okay.
Out of nowhere. But we won't get into that.
Love that word.
But I felt good about that because they had to give me severance, 3 months pay.
Nice.
So
you
like
put that into the company.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And that allowed me to buy a new MacBook, to put money towards tripods and audio and other things that we got. Like, we were actually, at that moment in time, we were just spending our own money on all this gear. Like, and we're like, we're going to make it back.
Mm-hmm.
But to begin with, rough. You know what I mean? There are certain times where, we would have this coin jar that we would always drop, like, 25 cents or 10 cents in, but preferably 25 cents.
Right.
And there were just certain days where it had to be like
you had to pull it from the jar?
Yeah, the coin jar days,
Are we hungry? We need to get some food?
Exactly, you know what I mean? But then you start building momentum. You start building relationships. You start putting out a lot of like good, consistent work.
Yeah.
And then people see it, and then people want to hop on. Exactly. And then it was word of mouth from then on.
Yeah.
Like, we never had to do any marketing for our company, because by the time we got to sit down to be like, all right, let's see how we're going to market, like, 2 other people call us.
All right.
And it's like, we're busy on that. And honestly, I would say we're very blessed for that. And I want to thank everyone too who chose Friends and Frames.
You all put out some good stuff. I know. I remember you guys being real busy. You even flirted with me once or twice, like, "Yo, we need some help producing. We got too many projects on the table." I remember seeing your board with all the projects, and
like we did get busy. It was interesting. We were just committed to that lifestyle no matter what, like, this is what we wanted to do from time. And I was willing to do that for a very long time of my life. Like, Friends and Frames was like a 6-year journey. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think it started picking up after the 2nd year. Mm-hmm. And it was like a top peak, like, for the rest until like maybe like the last year. Mm-hmm. But that's when like just the business dynamic changed, where like we have different things to do. Me and my business partner, we have like different life trajectories.
And I feel like the pandemic was around that.
Oh yeah, that kind of messed it up even more. Yeah, because I wasn't even like essential at the time. Thankfully I had some editing projects that I was working on, so like I was just home chilling, editing, collecting some cash. Perfect.
What you edit on?
I edit on Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro.
Yeah, that's right, you're on that Pro.
Yeah, I just
that Pro life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm editing more with like Premiere these days, but
you haven't moved to DaVinci? I feel like the whole world's moving to DaVinci.
DaVinci's cool when you want to like work on like coloring stuff, sure, but like I'm not trying to edit in there. And like I don't think people should flex what editor they work in. Like, it's just like, if
people love to do that,
if you can make something look good, it don't matter what the editor you use. It's just personal preference. Like, I like Premiere for certain things, and I like Final Cut for other things. If I'm editing something simple, I'm putting that in Final Cut. It's a very like linear cut type of software that's very powerful, and there's no like delay in like render times like how Premiere or After Effects might have. Like, it's just seamless. Don't flex editing software. Just use whatever you can use. Just
people love to have
opinions
opinions about
like,
that.
Oh, this is the best. Like, all right. Many people have done crazy stuff on everything. Obviously, like, all right, the best like visual thing would have to be After Effects. You know,
I don't even feel like there's any competitors.
I don't think so. No, I mean, no. I don't know what else competes with After Effects. You have all these like stuff like Blender and stuff like that, but they're in a different category, I feel, than After Effects. Like Blender and those type of softwares that create like 3D worlds that are rendered in 4K, and those are crazy. Like if you're good at Blender,
good on you.
Yeah, good on you, because that's a tough software. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
So before we fade out here, let's bring it back to crypto. And what I want to, this is something I've been thinking about, and so I want to pick your brain on this a little bit. But what are the business opportunities, the small business opportunities, you know, as entrepreneurs that you see in the crypto space? Is there room in the ecosystem for people like us to build something? Do you need to be a programmer to enter this space and to be effective in this space? Like, in your head, have you even flirted with the idea of starting a business in the Bitcoin crypto space?
No, but I've thought about ways how I can integrate its technology into certain companies. Yes.
Like how?
So, without giving away too much, there's certain things that, you know, you could do with blockchain technology. I want to launch a certain type of app, and it will use the blockchain technology to authenticate things. You can use tokens as things to give rewards. You can add value to these tokens by putting them on an exchange. It could, you know, really create like a community-based thing.
Is this what Elon's doing with X? Is there an X token or not? Like, I can't figure it out.
No. I don't think he won't. I think he's already come out and say that he won't actually create like a native token for X.
Okay.
But everyone knows it's Doge. It's gonna be Doge. At one point, like, you could tip people in Doge and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a thing.
But this is similar to what you're talking about, right? Like,
yeah,
creating some sort of app that's built on the blockchain, decentralized ledgers.
Yeah, you know, like decentralized messaging. You know,
do you use Nostr?
Nostr, I'm not sure what that is.
A similar kind of protocol, which it's like decentralized social media. NOSTR.
No. But there's been a lot of those coming out though.
Right.
They've been popping left, right, and center. I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on the Solana space.
Not really. Tell me more.
Bro,
because I feel like Solana was big like 3 months ago, but like I haven't heard of it in 3 months.
It's been going hard for 3 months. It only now is kind of getting kind of slippery and annoying. Solana was popping off compared to all other markets right now. The Solana market, like, trading volume per day is like 1 billion plus. All the other ones are in the hundreds of millions or whatever. There's a lot of money circulating around in Solana, especially in the lower caps and meme coins and stuff like that.
So what's Solana's niche? Is it sort of like like Ethereum in the sense that it's a platform for other coins to work on, or is it?
Absolutely, work on, develop on, and just be as creative as possible with the network. It is low gas fees, and it's fast. The problem is that people don't have confidence in Solana because it's something that technically people can turn on and off.
What do you mean by that?
Like, people, they run software updates to Solana. Like, they can control it. They could shut down Solana for maintenance. They can be like, yo, we shut down Solana to perform maintenance. And then what happens then? So people don't like that. They don't really think it's, you know.
So it's a proof of stake company, or proof of stake software?
It has to be. It has to be. I believe so.
What's your opinion about POW versus POS?
I wouldn't say I know too much about those different things. I haven't like dove into the mechanics of how those things work. I'm a degen.
What's that
don't
mean?
like I'm just like a full-on degenerate investor. Like I'm not someone, anything I say is not financial advice.
Right.
I'll just say that.
All right.
I know about the crypto space, but I'm not in depth a lot.
Sure.
You know
There's
what I
a lot
mean?
there, man.
So for me, all in my mind is that I'm loading up my wallet with some Solana or whatever is like the hottest token.
So you can load a wallet with Solana. So it has its own token.
Yeah.
It has a token.
Yeah.
It's also
Solana has their own token, yeah, for sure.
And so
It's a yeah.
no, I'm just trying to understand. I don't know much about, the crypto space. So it's a platform that has its own token.
Yeah, it's a platform. Well, it's like a, how would I describe it? It's like an Ethereum. It's like a Bitcoin. You know what I mean? It's, how would I describe it? It's a network. Yeah, just a straight up network, and it is something that people can build games, applications, whatever, anything, just like any other network. I think what matters is that the speed and cost of these tasks operating on a network more than anything, and the volume of people on a network. And so far, that's what has made Solana superior. So I don't know the mechanics of Solana. I don't know what the long-term goal for them is. I know that they're going to break all-time high. I know that the meme coin season in Solana is going to get on fire again. Unfortunately, right now, like 90% of everything is rug pulls. But it's been fun the last like couple 3 months, running up a lot of cash. I mean, I don't understand why there's not a lot more people invested in getting down in the gutters from time to time. It's high risk, high reward.
Right.
You do your due diligence, but you have to think about the multipliers, right? You put your little 1,000 in Bitcoin today, cool story. You know what I mean? You have to wait very long just to even 50% your money. Versus you put $1,000 into like a coin sub 1 million market cap, and let's say I invested at 100,000 flat. Every 100,000 I'd be making $1,000. So by a mil I'd have 10K. By 10 mil I would have 20. And above and above. The multipliers just say it all. It's worth the risk at the end of the day. If you have the money to invest in there, don't put your house money on it. But it's
speculative is what you're saying.
Yes, and I think that a lot of people need to be taking advantage of it if they're trying to make some sort of like especially if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of money to be investing in a crypto space. Like, you should definitely be focusing more on lower caps first until you establish a bigger budget in order for you to be a big boy and get into the bigger coins. Some people might shame me for all of this or whatever, but they got money. You know what I mean? They put in like 50 grand into a coin or whatever, and like, I just went up 20% today. Cool. My little $400 going up 20%
don't mean nothing.
Exactly. So work in the lower caps first. Take your risks. Don't bet too much. Do your research. Multiply your money, and then you move it over into your exchange afterwards, and you start buying the big boy plays. That's just the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, so many people enter the crypto space in that area right there. The smaller caps, and fool around with the casinos and the cryptos, and definitely the Bitcoin maxis don't like it, and they definitely don't recommend it.
But the funny thing is that people heavy into Bitcoin are heavy into like the underground like Bitcoin meme coin space though.
What do you mean?
Like the runes and like the Satoshi coins and all that stuff. Like there's like a whole marketplace. I forgot what it's called. For like meme Bitcoin coins.
Right.
Right.
But I don't think the maxis like them either.
Well, yes, they have
like the ordinals, the NFTs that are on Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
The runes.
Those ones.
I feel like those are also frowned upon.
It's good for the space. It's like, what do you want people to do? People have made money off these things. They want to spend their money. They want to invest in other things. They want to go crazy. You know, if I have $100,000, I'm not just keeping that all in one coin or a couple like blue chip coins and just playing it safe all the time. Nah, I would take like, 10 bands and, run up a meme coin portfolio. Right. You know how much times, look, 5 months ago, or like I would say no, like 3 months ago, three and a half, I bought into Dog with Hat at like 100 or 200K, right?
What, and market cap?
Market cap, yeah. and I had like a couple 100,000 coins at that moment in time.
And you're like, just blow up, baby.
And then it goes up a little bit, and then I just sell it because I'm like, I don't really see any long-term potential for this coin. Like, I made a little 2x, Right. Watch this coin pop past like $1 billion.
Right.
And at that point, I would have like been heavy six figures almost.
So it really popped up that high?
It did.
Damn.
It did. Dog with Hat is probably one of the biggest like
meme coins out there right now.
Yeah. Like it just exploded. Yeah.
I could
you know how much times that's happened to me? That's not the only coin that's done that to me.
But you see, this is why the maxis say don't even play with it.
But then they're just weird. They're too safe. You can't be safe in life. You know what I mean?
I feel like, it's that whole, what's the concept called where you're a certain age, you can take more risk, and then the older you get, the less risk you have to take, whatever that phenomenon is called.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think that has a lot to play with. Remember, you're still a young guy, man. You got a lot of life left.
Exactly.
You can put a lot of risk on the table.
And that's what I enjoy doing. I'm gonna take as much risk as possible now in order to secure myself for the future because I can put $400 into cat whiff bag. You know what I mean? And then that thing like 10x's and I good.
Oh man, I feel like there's people out there in the world who don't know about the crypto space and they're just like, what the hell are these guys talking about?
Yeah, it's cat whiff bag actually
really
did me pretty. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I made like about $4,000 off a cat whip bag, off of $100 investment.
How do you explain that to people? They just, I mean, like,
I don't. I don't tell people about that all the time because they don't get it. They're just like, they're always so confused on these like weird names and all that. But listen, people have money to blow. I watch a coin called Mew go from 1 million up to 100 million in a night.
Market cap?
Yes.
Why did that blow up?
I don't know. Like it just, I think it might have been an airdrop from another big token, and that big token, the whales in there just decided to have fun. I was hopping in and out of it, but I thought it was gonna rug soon. I could have made a lot more money than I did. But it was scary because it was like an unrealistic chart because it was just green all the way up. Like it didn't stop. Like
right. It's like too good to be true.
Yeah, exactly.
Something's wrong with this.
Exactly. Like it was scary. Like I stayed up like for 2 hours, just like 4:00 in the morning. This thing's still climbing, and I'm like, yo, I don't know, I don't know what to do with this. I was just swing trading it. Yeah, just to really get some quick cash to get in and out just in case, because all it takes is one of those whales to just red candle this thing to kingdom come.
Right.
And you're like, 50%, 60% down. Can't do that.
What a crazy ecosystem that is, man. It's pretty amazing, actually, just to have lived through the inauguration of this ecosystem and to be in the fun phase of it now, and seeing it grow and expand, and it's so colorful. It's like nothing the world has seen. And
it's exciting. That's what it is. I really do encourage everyone to get into the crypto space because it's going to be beneficial for your lives. You know what I mean? People were preaching .coms, web domains, and
and here we are again.
We're the crazy people now.
Right,
but listen, this is what's gonna be your savior when global currencies collapse and all that stuff, and you got some Bitcoin on you. That's gonna go a long way. I promise you that, for sure. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what this whole crypto space is. It's shorting fiat. It's the idea that fiat's days are done, and that a new way of transacting
is done.
So which ones aren't?
I guess, yeah, most fiat will die, because I was gonna think about. I was trying to give an example about BRICS, and
what about it?
The US dollar. It depends on if BRICS becomes a digital token or not.
Yeah.
Right. And that will change my view on it. But
Me
for
too.
right now, I think that it's obvious to me that the US dollar is gonna fail soon enough. Everyone knows it. They won't tell you that because that'd be bad for everyone, and that might seem very controversial or whatever. But you have to understand how much debt the US is in.
Right.
And they cannot afford to dig themselves out of this one.
They
Absolutely not.
They cannot pay that back.
They have
to print. They have to print just to pay the interest, much less the debt. But I don't think it's going to fail. I don't think it's going to fail soon. I think the other currencies fail first, and the US fails last.
I think BRICS is going to sweep the world and implement their currency.
But I think, like you said, it depends, because if it's just another fiat,
then it might be different.
It's just garbage, just more garbage.
But I've heard that on some degree it could be a digital token. So
why not? Why do they not?
They're not far advanced, but you have to think about it. Like it's just kind of scary because you don't really want to be using BRICS money at the same time too. But you at that point we won't have a choice, right? If the US dollar depegs and all of that, and we need a harder, stronger currency, then we're gonna have to go with those guys somewhere. And it's kind of like the best of two evils. There's gonna be some limitations and sketchy stuff going on with BRICS currency, just as much as with the US dollar. And yes, they are. I definitely think it's going to crumble. I think the US's time right now.
I guess it depends on what you mean by crumble, right? Because I feel like it is crumbling.
Yeah, it's crumbling.
You're right.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna fall tomorrow or this year or whatever. But
that's what most people think when we say collapse, right?
Okay.
I think people imagine this apocalyptic. US dollar just don't work.
I ain't trying to spread fear like that.
We're not JP Morgan.
Yeah, we're not. No, exactly. They're sketchy. But just it's a long-term thing that people need to realize and prepare for, because the United States isn't as strong as it once was, especially under their current leadership. We just have to just kind of let it play out and see what they do. I mean, that affects us very heavily. I think people need to pay attention to U.S. politics.
Yeah. Because it just affects so much of the world, right? It does. I mean, especially us here, right? We're part of the Americas. We're 1 hour away from Miami, not even.
It really does. So leadership there really matters a lot, because now the whole world is cool with provoking America. Like people don't fare them the same way. They still fare them, but not the same way. They're like, oh, like you want smoke, we have smoke too. Boom. You know, like everyone's like really on the edge at this point. Like Iran, Israel, all that stuff it's unfortunate what's going on there. The US has its hands in too much things right now.
Too many things, man. It's too spread thin. Like focus inwards, people.
You see how they ditch Ukraine though?
What do you mean by that?
They're like, all right, later.
Can't print no more money for that.
Yeah,
more.
sorry, man. We got
some other things to print for.
Yeah, we need to go deal with this real quick. We soon come back. We soon create a media package for you, soon. Type vibe, you know. Like, no, it's just more so like the coverage on that has gone down significantly
for sure.
And I think that we can't ignore that. And they just are now focusing more in the Middle East. They have their own agendas there. We have to pay attention to this war. We have to get serious about ourselves about nuclear possibilities. Like we can't be dumb and not prepare for it, because you know we'd like to think all these world leaders have a very calm head,
right?
You know, or can make rational decisions, right. Yo, you know what I mean? They just take that one moment for them to get too emotional and they press that red button and it's over. And then we're here just chilling and not realizing like the world is collapsing, and we shouldn't be putting ourselves in a vulnerable position like that. We have to watch out. I think these people out here are crazy enough. Russia has said that they would protect their country by any cost. And I don't know, they keep testing that, man. And then it just like, it could happen.
Right.
And what's the funny thing is that, or not funny, but Russia has been working on technology for years to bypass a lot of security systems, like missiles that move fast enough that it can't, you know, be intercepted a certain way. It could be ghosts and stuff like that. So a lot of people feel like they're not as advanced with nuclear technology, but they are very much so. And that's a threat. We don't know what the Iranians have been doing. They were told to stop. Remember that, right? By Obama or something. Yeah.
And Israel. Yeah. Everybody's trying to stop Iran. I guess they never actually, publicly said that they've created a nuclear weapon, right? I know they were trying to for the longest time.
Yeah. Who knows? People might think that they don't have the capacity to do so. They're still figuring it out, whatever the case is. My point is that we don't actually know what these guys are holding.
I think your point is you can't trust anyone now. You can't trust these leaders anymore. I feel like there's such a lack of trust in leadership
around the world.
Yeah,
I think there are only certain people who are actually stepping up to make changes. But it's just all a time thing. You know what I mean? We all need to wait for like the next generation to like come in and take some leadership up in Parliament to make decisions for everywhere. I think right now we just still have old people in there, and it's like, cool, bro. See you again next year. It gets kind of corny, you know what I mean? And they have their ideologies, and this could be controversial, but personally, after a certain age, you shouldn't be able to vote. Simple as that.
Really?
Yes, because as somebody that's pretty much on your way to death, you know what I mean? Like, you are the one voting for what we have to live through.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Based off your ideology of the world, which is unfair, because like, for example, like, it's not too long ago that slavery ended. Right? And there's a lot of people's like grandparents or grandparents that are like extremely racist, and like that's cool, but well, it's not cool, but like that's just how
get
they
it.
were brought up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they just knew it, how life was then. And they lived throughout their whole life, and they spread that on to their children. And some people do change, but some people do keep that same mentality. And then they're like a 60-year-old, you know, this 60-year-old who has grown up that whole life of toxicity and hatred and stuff like that, or might believe that certain things work a certain way. You can't change somebody's mind when they're that old, in my opinion. Like, older people are very stubborn, in my opinion.
So you think there should be a cap, just like there is at the beginning of life?
Yeah.
You have to be a certain age before you can vote. You think there should be a cap at the end of life?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Because otherwise,
and controversial. I'm sure a lot of people won't agree with that.
No, they won't, because they think that, like, what about my rights too? It's like, yeah, I don't think your rights should be forgotten. I think there should be like permanent things, like set in stone for people who are older. I think there should be a specific fund that is also created that shares wealth amongst the older generations too, and centers and proper like facilities to really help old people accept the fact that they're old now. You know, a lot of people retire to get bored. They don't keep themselves active. They might die early. They don't, you know, they left their workplace too early, and they don't make as much in their pension every month or whatever the case is. There's a lot of older people struggling and stuff like that. I think their life should become easier. But I think it's your time is done for making decisions of the direction of the country. You got to do that from the time you're 18 years old, so you can chill now. In my opinion, you know, let the kids speak up. You know what I mean? That's why we've had the same, like, pretty much same government since I've been in primary school, specifically in Cayman, right. Because it's like, it's like they all growing up together and they're voting for the same people over and over again. But I promise you, my generation and generations after me are gonna have a very different view and direction for Cayman, and I think we will spread a little bit more awareness over the next couple of years of pushing more locals into politics, and get a fresh start. We need a fresh start. No one is super young. They're the younger ones who've tried, they just never, they don't have it, you know, in order to get their voice out. Like, people would just always squash you because, oh, she don't know what she doing, what she know, well, what do these other people know? Yeah, you know what I mean? You trust them because they do something good for you or whatever the case is. Like, we need to stop doing that. We just need to, like, we're an island that has like billions of dollars like flowing through us, trillions if you want to say that. I don't know. You know, we need to step it up. You know what I mean? We need to become elite, and we're like lagging behind. Like, COVID actually like sped us up on a lot of things. Not gonna lie. Thank God for like all these like food delivery services and online shopping easier. It's like, that's good, but look how long it took to really integrate.
It took a disaster to make it happen, right?
Yeah. No.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate that conversation. I think we'll end it there on that note. Cool, and man. Always good to talk. No, for sure. Glad to catch up a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, don't run into you that much, you know, but I know you're still out there doing your thing, so I appreciate you coming on board.
Thank you for having me.
Cool, man. Later.
Bless.